Hello, Year 9 parents and students. I'd like to take a couple of minutes of your time to talk to you about health and social care as an option for Year 10 and 11. So, why BTEC health and social care? Well, at some point in our lives, we're all going to need to give some support to loved ones, whether it be caring from our own child to caring for elderly parents. Providing that support for them is a very useful skill to have. Not only from a personal level, but also as a career working in health and social care environment, whether it be for the NHS or the private healthcare, or indeed the social services, then health and social care is the subject for you. The opportunities are indeed endless. So, how is the course organised? Well, this is a vocational course, which means it's geared towards the environment of work and is made up of three components. The three components are spread out evenly throughout years 10 and 11, where we do 1.5 in year 10, 1.5 in year 11, and all three are assessed, but I'll talk more about that later. As you can see, there is one exam, and that will be sat at the end of year 11. Therefore, there will be mocks in March for this exam. The first component looks at human development throughout the different life stages. We go from the beginning of infancy right through to the elderly. What we look at are the pies of each stage and why someone may develop differently than someone else. The pies being physical, intellectual, emotional and socially throughout your different life stages. So, having looked at the development of each life stage, we then look at the services that are available to us. We live in a country where the health and social care provision is one of the best in the world, and many people travel to our country to receive care, as we have specialists that deal with very complex problems. In component 2, we look at different care for services that we can provide. These start at the primary services, which are your first point of call services, like the GP, the dentist, and so on. We then look at secondary care, such as referrals, where the GP may refer you to a specialist at the hospital, as well as looking at the emergency cases through paramedics and A&E that are available at hospital. We then move on to tertiary care, as well as community health care that can be needed for anybody that looks after people at home. So, having looked at the development stages of our life and looked at the services that are provided, in this component we look at the barriers that stop us being healthy and the factors that affect our well-being. To do with health, it can be anything from being a diabetic or early onset dementia that affects us being healthy, both physically and mentally. From a well-being point of view, we look at the environmental factors and the financial factors, or even the cultural factors that affect our well-being. In this component, not only do we look at these factors, but we look at overcoming these factors to stop them being negatives and turn them into positive factors that could enhance our life. So that's essentially what we look at in the course. But how are you now going to be assessed? Well, the assessment is over 2 years. This for me is a better way to assess a student's performance, as it's not judged on 2, maybe 3 days in the summer of year 11. You're not reliant on these 2-3 days. It is your performance over 2 years that is judged, which is more like the real world. Component 1 and Component 2 is assessed through a Pearson set assignments. You will get time to prepare notes, and under time conditions you will answer questions on those, using those notes on specific scenarios. Again, this reflects real life more than just sitting one exam. However, there is still an exam element to it. This is component 3, which is assessed externally and will be sat at the end of year 11. So that's the course and how you'll be assessed. Why choose it? What can you do with it in the future? Well, having completed the Key Stage 4 course, there are many opportunities available to you, as I've already said. There are both vocational elements to it as well as academic routes. From an academic point of view, you could go on to study a BTEC Level 3 course. That could be, following on from this, a health and social care course or a child development course, or indeed any other Level 3 course that is run under the health and social care bracket. Here, with these BTECs, you can study equivalencies of 1, 2 or 3 A-levels. So you can make it a real vocation or study it because it interests you. From an academic point of view, in terms of A-level, you could go on to study A-level psychology, biology or sociology, as well as many other subjects that we offer in the sixth form for you to do. As a career point of view, there are some of the careers that you could go through. It really does open doors for you if you study health and social care. Okay, so what next for you? Well, if you're interested, but you still have more questions that you need to ask, please come and see us. We're on the top floor, in 325. That's our work area. Our classrooms are 321 and 322. The best person to talk to would be Miss Lawrence, but come and find me as well, Mr. Vasiliou, if you have any questions. We look forward to teaching you all next year.